And we're back with Bedtime Stories, Grownup Edition, The Root of All Evil, Part 14. When we left off, Q was being detained by law enforcement and FBI agents at the airport. Marcus and Stephanie were hiding in the house, waiting for Jessica's return. And Jessica was pulling up to the house, but she just noticed that her little booby trap that she left in the back door is no longer there. Jessica put the car in neutral and turned off the ignition, allowing the car to roll down the driveway. She turned the steering wheel hard to the right so that the car would veer onto the grass and allowed the car to roll on the side of the garage. When the car rolled to a stop, it was on the side of the house next to the garage and the tree line. Leaving the keys in the ignition, Jessica slid out of the car, quietly shutting the door, grabbed her gun, and she tiptoed along the side of the house. She made sure to stay as close to the house as possible, knowing that if someone was looking out the window, they wouldn't be able to see her without leaning their whole body out. There were also no windows on the lower level because of the garage and no exits. She crept around the back of the house until she was at the stairs that led down to the basement. Before she left, she unlocked the basement door, just in case she needed an alternative entrance upon her return. Meanwhile, the FBI wants to know why Q is in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where he plans to go once he leaves the airport, why he doesn't have any bags checked or carry-on, and lastly, why he left Wyoming immediately after being told to stay put. When Q got to the airport detention area, his lawyer was waiting for him, thanks to LJ. Having been brought up to speed about LJ and Q's investigation, the attorney quickly lets the FBI and Q know that he's not answering any questions. He has not broken any laws, and he was not legally required to remain in Wyoming. The lawyer informs the agents that if Q learns of any criminal activity, he'll be sure to call 911. After about an hour of reindeer games, Q was finally free to go. Instead of going with his original plan of picking up a rental car, connecting with his contact in Albuquerque, and going to the house, he asked the lawyer to drop him off at the hotel. Recognizing that he had a tail, he called LJ to come up with plan B. LJ let him know that Regina already arrived and she had a rental car and she was simply waiting for instruction. Q says, L, there's a gas station across the street from my hotel. Behind it is some woods, and on the other side is a street. Have Regina pull up on that street in 5 minutes. At that same time, Jessica's entered the house through the basement. She quietly made her way through the basement, up the basement stairs, one step at a time. She put her ear to the basement door, and she could hear whispering. She put her eye to the skeleton keyhole at the basement door, and she could see Marcus's back. Marcus was peeking through the blinds of the window that faced the driveway. She patiently waited to hear another voice or to see movement, but she heard and saw nothing else. After a few moments, Marcus moved out of view. She heard him walking through the house towards the back door. She heard the door open, but she didn't hear it close. So she slowly and quietly opened the basement door. She entered the house, got low, staying close to the wall, with her snub nose 38 Special leading the way, and crept through the house. Suddenly, she saw Stephanie standing in the kitchen, peeking out of the back door, having no idea that Jessica was behind her. Jessica ran up on her, put the 38 to the back of her head, and yelled out, Marcus, come back inside. Meanwhile, Q casually left his hotel, walked across the street to the gas station, in plain view of the undercover car that was waiting outside. The officer watched him go into the gas station, walk around the store, grab a drink from the cooler in the back, walk toward the back of the store, and before the officer could even turn his car off, Q disappeared. Q sat the drink down, told the gas station attendant that he needed to use the restroom, and ran out the emergency exit. He ran through the back parking lot, through the woods, through the tree line, onto the side street, and right up to the passenger side of the rental car being driven by Regina. He jumped in the car, and Regina sped off. He put the address to the estate property into the GPS, and Siri said, you will arrive at your destination in 7 minutes. Q looked at Regina and said, so, you want to talk to me about why you thought it was a good idea to call my pops like I'm in kindergarten? Regina started laughing and said, because if I needed a dose of reality, you would have did the same thing for me. Meanwhile, back at the house, Marcus slowly walks through the backyard with both his hands in the air. In a calm tone, he asked Jessica, where is Angela? Jessica asked, Don't you want to know how our son is doing? Marcus and Stephanie are playing this situation by ear, so he can't let on that he knows that Angela had the baby and she has it. But playing along with the foolery, she looks at Marcus, looks at Jessica, rolls her eyes, and says, no, she didn't give birth, Marcus. Where is our sister and her baby? Jessica jabs the gun harder into Stephanie's head and says, shut up! You don't even know what you're talking about. And I've only ever had one sister. And thanks to your mother, she's gone. Stephanie said, no, you mean thanks to your mother. Jessica screams at Marcus, get in the house. As she pulls Stephanie backwards by her hair away from the door and backs her into the foyer, she makes Marcus close and lock the back door, walk past her and Stephanie and have a seat on the couch. Marcus then asks Jessica, I'm so confused. You weren't far enough along to have delivered a healthy baby. So can you explain to me why you have baby stuff? There's dirty diapers in the trash. Whose baby do you have? Where's Angela? What is going on here? Talk to me, Jessica. This is crazy. Jessica says, does it matter? It's your baby. And if you want to ever see the baby again, you're going to help me. Listen. If we kill Stephanie, you inherit everything. The baby and I are going to leave the country today, and we'll wait for you. Once the estate is settled, you can get Missy, and you can join us. Marcus says, Missy? Melissa, you can get Melissa, and y'all can join us. We can be a family. We'll be happy. We can start a new life. Marcus says, Jessica, I don't understand. How could I inherit everything if we kill Stephanie? What about Angela? Did you kill Angela? As Marcus keeps Jessica talking, Stephanie is plotting and waiting for an opportunity to attack. Stephanie asks, so you killed our sister and stole her baby? I told you, I only have one other sister, and Angela's baby killed Angela. Marcus pretends a little too convincingly to cry at this revelation that Angela is dead. Jessica loses it. She turns her attention and the gun on Marcus while saying, now I know why my mother did what she did. Seeing the man that you love crying over another woman can send you over the edge. Marcus, unable to contain himself, jumps up from the couch and says, where's my baby, you crazy At that moment, Stephanie spins around despite the fact that Jessica has a good hold on her hair while simultaneously grabbing Jessica's arm that Jessica's using to hold the gun, and bang! Stephanie and Jessica fall to the floor. The gun goes flying out of Jessica's hand. Stephanie cold cocks Jessica in the face. Jessica lets go of Stephanie's hair. They're fighting and tussling, rolling around the floor, fighting, trying to get to the gun. Stephanie is turning Jessica's in every which way but loose. But eventually, Jessica gets her hand on that gun. She gets on top of Stephanie and she jumps up. And then bam! The side door comes flying open. Jessica makes a run for the basement door, which she conveniently left open, and she takes those stairs 2 and 3 at a time. She runs through the basement, out the basement door, back up the stairs, into her car. She jumps in the car, starts the ignition, reverses across the grass, back onto the driveway, and off the property. Stephanie runs out of the door that just got kicked in, jumps into the rental car with Regina behind the steering wheel, and they take off in hot pursuit. Inside, that loud bang when Stephanie hit Jessica and they went down was a gunshot. Q says, Marcus, is the baby here? Marcus says, no. Did she tell you where the baby is? Marcus says, no. How did you get to the house? How did you get to the house? Did you drive a car? Marcus says, yes. Q remembers where the pin dropped, and he realizes that it's just not close enough for him to jump in their car to pursue the women. He says to Marcus, hold on, man. Your wife and your son, they need you. I promise I will find your baby, but you've got to hold on. You have a son who's waiting for you and a beautiful wife who loves you. I know that things are tough right now, but I believe that you two can work it out. Marcus says, too late. Q says, it's never too late. Just hold on. Keep talking to me, man. Marcus looks at Q and says, take care of them. Then he closes his eyes and says nothing else.